All right, so we built out our form using BUMS.AI. Now we're going to figure out how to get Hailtrace to create some instant reports as our lead magnet. So what we're going to do is, of course, we built that assessment report. As I open that up, this is a form that we're going to use. This can be put on a website. It could be sent by text. It could be embedded. There's several options. Let's worry about that later. Remember, function before form. So here we are. And I've already taken the liberty of creating a template for us of how we're going to do it. So here we go. First thing we're going to do, and this lead connector is available on Zapier out there. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit the little edit button so we can get moving here. And what we're going to do is the first thing I did was I went to lead connector. I linked my account. Let me make sure I got the right account linked in. Yes, I do actually. I'm going to pick pipeline stage, continue. I have my general basic account. That's my test account, guys. So I'm going to put that in there. We'll be using this on a live company real shortly, just making that final selection. I'm going to go down here, drop my pipelines. I'm going to grab that Mosi pipeline, the one that we're working on, that Mosi pipeline. And I'm going to say, I'm going to put somebody in this property report. When they ask for a property report, that's going to be when they fill out that form, right? So continue. And again, if you go back to that pipeline, guys, what I'm talking about is right here, that cold lead, warm lead. When a guy ends up here, property report, that's the one we want to work on. So that's who we're going to work with. So we're going to test the trigger. Now there's no data there. So this is step one. We got to test the trigger. And it created some generic data. Can I use it? Can I not? Let's take a look. Maybe you can. If not, it's pretty data in here. And I'm going to put that and put test at test.com. I agree and submit. All right. Now that form has been submitted. Now what we did not do was take that form and do anything with it. So we're going to make a real quick automation, guys. And I'm going to do that right here. And we're going to make a quick automation. And we're going to call this, we're going to do it from scratch. So follow me along here. This is important. We're going to say, this is the assessment submission, right? Is we're going to say form submitted. I'm doing this a little quick, right? I'm going to add a filter. I'm going to say form is assessment form. Save that trigger. That's when it's going to happen, right? And I'm going to then go ahead and create one simple thing, which is what we're going to do is we're going to do our opportunity. And what we're going to do is create, I can't spell, guys, assessment. And we're going to drop it in that Mosi pipeline. We're going to pick our stage of property report. We're going to use the name. But now we don't have their name on that form. Remember, I talked about this. You can or can't have that name. I'll test it both ways, and I'll let you know what I find. What I'm going to do, though, is I'm going to use just the contact information here, and I'm going to go to their address one, and I'm going to make that the opportunity. Pretty simple. Source, I don't know the source right now, so I'm going to let that be, but I could put in something like website or something. Lead value, I could create a value. For now, I'm not going to, but let's just say I want to say every value is worth $100 to me, whatever it is. And I'm just going to call it an open status. Allow opportunity to move to any previous stage. I'm going to say yes. Allow duplicate opportunities. I'm going to say no, and I'm going to save that, right? So we've real quickly done this. We've saved it. We're going to do a couple more things here. We're going to test that workflow with this test.com. So run that test. We're going to go in our settings. We're going to allow re-entry so if someone does this more than once. Everything else we don't really need to worry about at the moment. And if you go in your execution logs, you're going to see that we did this one. And what this did, so you guys see, is in that pipeline, here's my property assessment. There it is. Boom, it got there, right? Now, if I go back to my Zapier, I'm going to say find new records and try to see if I can pull that record. And that's going to give me a little bit better data to work with. So here's B. It looks like, yep, we got that 772 address, right? So cool. All right, let's move on. We got that. And the next step in this pipeline as you go in, and by the way, you guys can do something like this. I like to keep it, and my head's kind of big over here. Let's shrink that guy down. Yeah, there you go. All right. So we're going to use a post webhook, right? And sometimes it's good to describe this. So let's call this send to Hailtrace for report. Let's make this kind of simple so we understand what it is. I created a post webhook. That's a Zapier premium feature. Again, if you have a module from us, we actually take care of this for you. But if you're building it, this is what you're going to do. I'm giving you the secret right here. HTTPS, here's your URL, guys. I'll paste it for you. But that's where you're going to go. Hail history report. And what we're going to do is we're going to do a JSON type format. We're going to do a street address. And you can see I've loaded here the street address. Boom, boom, boom. Now I used the tokens. These are called tokens. I use the tokens that you can find here. So for example, there is a full address here and I could use that. I didn't want to. I used individual addresses. There's a reason I did it. I'm going to tell you that that's going to be the better way. You don't have to follow me. You can try to make one less step, but I prefer doing more steps in the automation in the build and less steps for humans. So this is what I put in there. All right, I'm going down and authorization. So my guy needs to blur this, but there's my authorization token. Here's my application in JSON. I'm just saying content type application JSON. Continue. And what we're going to do is we're going to test this real quick.